Ban on post-examination flamboyant celebration on school premises. Why is that an issue for you, GES? We have plenty things to think about in our schools. So, and yeah, omo school omo pay baby afana. Yedi omo ye afine yede flamboyant and nema. You look at it and you go like, oh, almost saying kolano, they are doing too much. But if they are doing too much, are they doing too much with your money?
You don't know these streets like we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Street is Watching. I go by the name Zona Nakweku Bliss, and this is my editorial. Today, before I share a person a simple question. When you finish writing your WASI examination, then I will hear. And I said, then I will boost you 4 year now. Because it looks like in 2026, Friday, ya no mucho more papers new year. Now, in some people are doing, from parents to the students who even graduated. Charlie, we are living in days and ages. Sometimes you wish, what is happening now, no? You happened to you back then. That wasn't our time. For me, I got the whole night off, and I think the whole weekend to do whatever I wanted to do. At the end of the day, and I'm cool with that. But it looks like in this generation, and as this new crop of students now, they are actually enjoying. And this is why. We'll watch a video of some students some people were lovebirds. Some people decided to receive gifts. Some people decided to fight teachers. And I saw more mature Madiano. Some of the students decided to go at them. But before we even dive into the story itself, www.mybet.africa, Aqua Blue Mineral Water, and a Matrix Gym. Now let's get into the stories. Let's watch these videos of students after they have written their final examination. Welcome back. Now, I would have to break the video down here, tackle bit by bit. First and foremost, let's tackle those Omo AD Odo campus no. Because the video you just watched is a gentleman proposing to a lady. And his schoolmates, or mature exams, from all indications, no, they were lovebirds in school. And I realized they say, yes, so much trouble pay. We was say, then be proposing man. I have just a short advice for this gentleman. Oh, pray one coin. Where are you rushing to? Where are you rushing to? You think you are done with senior high school until you are done? Bro, come closer. After senior high school, you are now going to face life, because you get how many months? I'm sure you are 6 months to wait for your results. Now, what your results now, baby, then you get to enter into the tertiary. That's if you are able to do that. Now, uti ankoye went to me inquire also pay juma. Especially when one or two things happen and family can't take care of you, you have to go fed for yourself. You have to go out there and work. So then the Mao Jane said, you are matured enough that right after senior high school or results in crime bio. You just received, and as you just completed, finished writing the examination, and you choose to propose to a lady. And a young girl out there, with the AJ, you're excited. Your high school boyfriend has proposed to you. Oh my God. Wait till reality hits you. Wait till you step out. Wait till you have people come at you and want to have conversations with you. And also, wait till they get to you. And then you can choose whether you want to be with the person or not. So my advice to them is, Montomobo, let your results come, face life for a period, and send us or do dino about Munima Nanama. What happened to her? Well, then Nanama guy no. By the end of the day, this is where we are. Charlie, they feel they are done with their purpose. They feel they are matured enough to face reality. So on there, life. Another one that I find very silly, but it looks like a course almost every time, is when students decide say mature papers they can go at a particular teacher and now say headmaster or no fele say on na ye school nim no. Let's watch this.
School need the money di na yase emofra ne baako a o chechire ni agi ni music box di omuwie school no kratch ne say on te ase wakwa akwaje na ade a ne namfofo no ebusi.
Welcome back. 1. Watch your papers review. Your results are not in. What if there is an incident that requires Monsa Embra back to campus or back to the school to write papers nibium? And I say, what if your council maybe are 2 papers and then they tell you to come back to campus to go write those papers? You're like wondering, sir, because when you come back and now say that door is open, now I was also signed better papers, BMR. These are the same teachers on vigilante. And you think after you do this or you assault these teachers, Obabaka, on now let's move on. O results bar. Now now could see the same teacher you're assaulting now. What do you think the teacher will write about you or say about you? Or what do you think the teacher would require of you? And son our results and I say Nema was Yema on Wayama. So I know the adrenaline rush, the excitement. You think say throughout your years on campus, no, this particular teacher one you say also yes saying, oh, or no dear who say oh ye be the person will punish you and all that, but it is all part of schooling. Then bro, you are just a student. No, almost tertiary, almost degree in diploma. How are they even facing life, or how is life even treating them? And you decide, say, mature me last to pay, so let me go at the teachers. Bro, you can do better. You can do better. Now let's move to some exciting parts. I remember in the intro, maybe I will say, when you were done with your papers, your WASI papers, no, Dana, oh yeah, and I said Dana, oh family yamao. Let me know in the comment section. Like, people have stories, bro. People have stories to share. Let me know. You guys, comment section, booming industry, Montreal tour. Because it looks like this generation, this crop of students now are living the life. They are being pampered. They are being gifted gifts. Some of us even working right now, no, we wish that we would get those gifts. Let's watch these videos.
K, Mami K Poppers.
Me yawi. I me yawo. Which number? I can't. Patrol number. No, I don't know. But who? I know what.
K. Mami K poppers.
This is beautiful if you ask me. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Say, mena meba, no review school. And you don't know the conversation I've had with the students. And I say, my child, say, Bia, oh, if you're able to complete all your papers, may see a man, I say, may see a man. And then they decide to do it. I love the money bouquet, the cars here and there. You can see the excitement on their faces. Say, oh, I'm being appreciated for completing school. But it looks like Sir Actwing didn't sit well with a section of Ghanaians. Some Ghanaians are finding fault in Inyamane Isieno. And as the parents gifting their children cars and as the vehicles and as the expensive stuff. Oh yes, you've been able to complete school and this is what I want to celebrate you with. So the conversation on social media was so loud that it got to the table of GES. And then they had to issue a presser on this particular topic. Parents gifting their students right after completion of their examination, SHS students. And I'd love to read the presser, a 6-pointer presser. Me read the first one, I'll give you my take throughout till we reach the 6th one. Now let's start. This is a Ghana Education Service. Their details are all there. Immediate release. This presser was released on the 19th of June, 2026. Immediate release. Ban on post-examination flamboyant celebration on school premises. The question I have with this heading is flamboyant. Who determines what is flamboyant and what is not? First and foremost. What I would see as flamboyant, what I would see as extreme, we'll see that to be normal. So on which basis are you qualifying some as flamboyant and some as not? We'll get there. So that is the heading of the presser. Management of the Ghana Education Service, into bracket GES, has observed with concern an emerging trend of parents and guardians engaging in flamboyant celebration of their children's completion of senior high school. Such opulent display are characterized by the presentation of expensive gifts such as motor vehicles and money bouquet to their children or wards on school premises. That is the first pointer. And you can see that in the video now, as some students were being gifted money bouquets and then vehicles for completing and as if writing their final exams. Results in Yambayo, but we'll get there. So point number 2. Whilst management is not against the practice of Point number 2. Whilst management is not against the practice of parents and guardians celebrating achievements of their children or wards, management is against the practice of such ostentatious display by parents on school premises. Simple. And say, yes, you can gift your child, but to bring all of this lavish luxurious, and not too easy to acquire properties and are gifts to present to your wards on campus, they are against it. Now let's move to point number 3. In order to ensure that this practice does not gain roots in the school culture, management wishes to inform the general public that henceforth, post-examination celebrations that are characterized by lavish presentation of items such as motor vehicles to students are prohibited on school premises. That is GS. Omakasa. Now let's move to point number 4. Head of schools who allow this practice on their campus would be sanctioned. So yeah, headmaster. She school be shawanona shawonsa. Na umasa enyama we kosu biemwa. You'll be sanctioned. I was say you be free no be you one. You would come and explain why you allowed such acts to go on campus. Now let's move to point number 5. And this is where I have a heavy take on this. Schools are designed to promote social equalizers where merit and personal efforts take priority over economic status. Ostentatious display of wealth by parents on school premises creates visible social economic division. Shift the focus from academic achievement to financial privileges. Mark these 2 words: social economic division, and then financial privileges. Now, and can foster psychological distress among students whose parents are not able to compete in such flamboyant celebration. Now, I'll come to point number 6, but let me dwell on point number 5, kakra. I don't know which school you went to, but when you go to school, or chop box, especially if you are going to the boarding school, basically, it was all the chop box score. The number of items in the chop box, it's never an issue. Because when I'm in sewing enyepe, me timako school, me the gari olonka be 6 enebeko. That is what my parents can afford. Me the Cerelac beko, me the Milo. Even me shetona me the beko no. You testi anase ohwe nyeme wo mu a ebe wa ha benya nantwinam obeti menya aponche kakra benya fish. Tilapia kra wanhwe kra no musu mi wo shetonim. That is what my parents or I can afford to bring to campus. Na na twetwe mtwa hene. Ebi ono oba no, gari olonka ba kope. Sugar half. Milo no kra ya saso. Eno nkwa na go no chop box mu. Ena odeba. Do you get it? So if you say the display and I say me the parents now me bana school now me deka abreno no, it is going to spark or is going to create visible social economic division. Trust you me, there are a number of things that which is already creating that. Even I'm a boss about the items in the chop box, the items people bring to school. Sorry. Even the uniforms. Uko school, there's an amount of uniforms. If my parents are able to, let's say it's 3, my parents are able to give me 7 or 6 or 5 to cater for the whole week, there is an economic division there. Because they need 2, 3, maybe they need 4, 5. And found me matter there, I work from Monday to Friday. The only thing is I need to look good. Say matter near bakupe. Now after every class section, and now say after every day, I go and wash it and I can represent it and wear it as prescribed by the school. We are still on campus. The teacher is teaching. It's the ability for me to acquire the knowledge and apply it and be able to go write exams and pass is what matters. So this has nothing to do with obi chop box mu a nyama bebre wom anase obi ba we school. And let's take note here. The students are presented with a vehicle and they drive it off campus. I don't think school no are like the people who are in their final year or in their first year, where they are going to be on campus throughout. These are vehicles presented to students exams every year. So if the person is done with the exams, there is no way the person is driving that vehicle on campus on the day-to-day activity. On his day-to-day activity, and that's day-to-day, or so far as he's a student there, or they can't labor not sign their code. No, the person has completed. And the celebration over there is just to celebrate the person. It might even be the last time you see that vehicle on campus. It might be that the next time the person is coming, the person is driving to come and pick his or her results. So how does this affect all of this? Again, how does me presenting my child with a money bouquet or a vehicle, how does that affect the academic focus of the students? The student is getting out of school. It's not like the person just made an entry into that particular school. Now you can't no. Watch on the exams and you are presenting that vehicle. Let me continue here. So, can also foster psychological distress among students whose parents are not able to compete with such flamboyant celebration. Where is that and how does that affect the school? If my parents are able to give me a vehicle on the day I'm actually my exams review, how does that affect me student, me colleague, yensu school now? How does that affect the person psychologically? Or how does that put that person in a psychological distress? How? You school, school. Ya try people say we. Ya the G-Wagon abre nana chachene. Yamfa bian breme. It's not like we are getting back to campus. So your point, at least by 7 o'clock, everybody is going home. So how does that say nana chachene G-Wagon affect me psychologically? And now say distresses me psychologically. How? At this point, no. Is it Anna? Let me just complete it now. I'll give my final take on it. Or how does that even put pressure on the parents? Give school no. Like how? I don't get it. Anna virus me boy. Because you school and you have in school, you school. You chop paper say we ebia papa catcher will say virus. Odo to me chore last paper we are. If you see yourself through school, I would gift you XYZ. Nanya miadum. You've been through the hustle, prep, wakoha, the weeding, the whatever it is. What mature we? Not your father or your parent is just doing what he said he would do. How does that affect another person? I get it. At first glance, it is new. So therefore, it's a bit annoying. Especially you graduate here, you look at it and you see it with a certain feeling this is not right. Who says it's not right? You look at it and you go like, almost saying Kolano, they are doing too much. But if they are doing too much, are they doing too much with your money? How does that affect you? We have plenty things to think about in our school, so plenty things. And yet, my school, baby afana. Ye flamboyant and nema. Eba be shame. Like, I still sit here and I'm like, why this? Especially with this number, the fifth point here, a woman, trying to associate it to the performance of students. The people who are being gifted their cars. Watch a video here. Did you see any of their friends and their colleague students? Ojina who ni buefuda, ni buefu of videos name. They were all excited. They were all excited. Say, at least you school, you'll be a bad saying. Like, why is that an issue for you, GS? for you to include that in the pointer. I get it. It's your campus. You could have just done that. I love the pointers from 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't want it on your campus. You've stated that clear. But the explanation on the 5th one is what I am questioning. Is it because probably you don't or you can't do that for your child? So you school and I say it shouldn't go that way. I don't see anything wrong, especially if I'm linking it to the 5th one. Everybody has the right to do it. You can say not your campus, as I made mention of 1, 2, 3, 4 facts. You've stated it, but number 5, no. Now let me move to the 6th one, which is the final one. Management counts on the usual cooperation of parents, guardians, and other stakeholders. Yes. This letter was signed by Daniel Fenyi, Head of Public Relations, GES. Guys, I get it. Now, you can't the school for one seminar. Let me come to parents a little bit. Now, you guys are doing too much. Simple and short. It is too much. You can throw a party for your child, say we're school. You can do it anywhere. Why do it on campus? And the one that I can't wrap my mind around is the fact that your presentation was on for bloggers. So my video. This is a young champ who has attained a certain level of education. But that is not the end. He or she is going to move to the next level, which is the tertiary. And suddenly will move even before the person gets to face the world. When I say the world, gets into the job market. And we are in Ghana, yes, sometimes it's difficult, even if you have a PhD, to get a job that is well paying and deserving. I get it. You want to person for all you know, the person is your first child. You want to encourage the people and I say to be able to at least attain some level of education, and you are citing this as an example to help them. But let's know where to draw the limit. Let's know where to draw the limit, because one, the results in by. What if after all of this, results never know are failing? Are you still going to hold that excitement? What if after all of this, you can sell papers and say, almost I'm back to campus and control exams for? You know what? I'll leave it to you in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. But as we keep on saying, keep it real, because the street is always watching.
You don't know these streets like we do.
We